What up, guys? This is Adon here with Yu-Gi-Oh! Gaming Channel, back with another deck profile for you guys. My bro coming to what place and what deck?
I got third place with Mimighoul fiendsmith.
Mimighoul fiendsmith. Ah, bro, you on the fiendsmith train, huh?
It's good, but thankfully I didn't have to pay for it. The ones I got.
Hey, that's fair. I guess let's hop into it.
All right, so to start things off, we got the Mimighouls, 3 master. It's pretty much the heart and soul of the deck. Quick effect, flipping a face down on your opponent's board to face up attack or defense, and then trigger their effects, your Mimighouls on your opponent's turn. And then you got 3 Archfiend. So on normal summon, he basically does the same thing as Master, just for your turn. And then if he's flipped up, he makes whoever controls him discard a card, the opponent draw a card, and then he shifts control to the opponent. So you're most likely, in order for that effect to trigger, you're giving it to your opponent, so you're getting the benefits while you're ripping it out of their hand. With 3 dragon up next, on normal or special, he adds a Mimighoul spell or trap, and then his flip effects are he blows up all of the face-up monsters on the board, then goes over to the opponent. So you give them to your opponent, you nuke their board when you flip it, and then you take control, and then take it back from them. Rounding up the Mimighoul monsters, I run 2 Cerberus. He's definitely the weakest of the 3, but it comes up quite a bit. Like when taking one of my matches today, I flipped him once, which I only used his effect once throughout the entire tournament. He banished a Fiendsmith Engraver, Fiendsmith Tract, and Harpy's Feather Duster, and I just took the Engraver from him. And what's awesome about these is that since they say give control of it to your opponent, if the flip effect goes through and the opponent's board is full, the monster goes to the grave instead. So it's a great way of keeping your opponent from keeping the cards while having what you want on your board. The next card, it's not necessarily what I wanted to run. I just couldn't get the one card I wanted to run until after the tournament started. I run 1 Hero's Shadow Scout. It's nice the fact that you give it to your opponent and then flip it, you draw 3, and then just discard any spells that you draw. I do have the other targets for it now, but I wish I had it at the start of the tournament, which would have been down to Morphing Jar number 2. Guard Dog is really fun in this deck, and then the big one, the Fire Sorcerer. Then next up in the monster lineup is I run 2 Engraver and 1 Lurie. I only run 2 Engraver because I only pulled 2 Engraver, and I am not going to shell out $100 for another. But I find that 2 works out just fine, really. I haven't had a need for the 3rd one. And then I just managed to be at the Lurie before tournament today. Otherwise, I was running that Lord of the Missing Barrow, which is a super from Infinite Forbidden that is bad, but is good at the same time. But definitely happy I got the Lurie before tournament. And to round out the monsters, I run 3 Ash Blossom. But funnily enough, it got sided out. Switching to spells, you run 3 Dungeon. Now this is what makes or breaks the deck. So many people I went against today were really aggravated by this card because of the fact that you just throw a face down on your opponent's board. They can't normal, and if they flip it, you get advantage instead of them. Next up is 3 Maker, which, again, like the spells and traps with this deck are insane. So you reveal 2 flips in your deck. Your opponent picks a random one. That one they pick goes to their board face down. You add the other to your hand, then you can special summon a Mimighoul from your hand. So that's how you give them like the Hero's Shadow Scout or Fire Sorcerer, things like that. And when it went off, it went off. Except for game 2 of round 4 where I opened all 3.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. And then, just because of the nature of this deck, you're activating monsters on your opponent's board during your turn. You got 3 Thrust, and as well as 3 Talents. Honestly, I like the 3/3. I was thinking about maybe dropping it to 2/3, but it's still good either way. I'm running 2 Summoning Curse. I decided to drop it down to 2 because of the next card I'm going to show, but realistically, this next card's not necessary. didn't even really come out during tournament. I think it hit board once, but it didn't really have an effect on the game, which is Terrors in the Hidden City. I think it's just like a win more card, basically. So this will definitely be coming out. Then I run 1 Fiendsmith's Tract and 1 Called By. I don't know if I'm going to keep Called By in because it never came up, but there's always that chance it will come up at a crucial time. So it's a debatable card.
It's fair.
Then for traps, I only run 4. I run 3 Imperm, and then 1 Mimighoul Room, which is, I actually pulled off its graveyard effect once this tournament, which you banish it to return as many Mimighouls on your side of the field back to your hand as you want, and then it just allows you to reuse the ones that you've already been through. Then after that, we're going to go with the side deck next. One thing I ended up realizing while deck building, this deck is actually a really funny shifter deck. Usually if I side these guys in, I side the Fiendsmith stuff out. Because, you know, opening this and Fiendsmith is not a good combo. I run 3 Book of Moon, which could have come up, but didn't really come up that much today. 3 Book of Eclipse, which I wish I had in game 3 of the last round. I ended up losing to Yugioh because the dungeon buffs the attack of your Mimighouls except for the turn that their normal summons are set. So my master was sitting at 3,000. I shifted. He was able to put 3 Yubels on board and attack for me. If I had just had one of these, I probably would have been fine. I probably could have won that one. And then I run 3 Evenly, which might end up going down to 1 because I run Thrust, but I don't know yet. 2 Dominus Purge, which did come up in round 2, and then 1 D-Barrier.
Nice.
And then onto the extra deck, I run the 1 Requiem and 1 Sequence, then 1 Moon of the Enclosed Heaven. It's so fun to do this stuff, like, especially if you have Dungeon already up and then you throw Desiree on board. It's just really hard to get rid of. I ran a Hida, mainly because I thought I would see more fire decks today, but I didn't really see that
Snake
many.
Eye.
Yeah. 1 IP Masquerena and Little Knight, and then just because I had flexible room in the extra deck, I ran a Promethean and an Amble Whale. I only ran Amble Whale because I don't have a Raging Phoenix. Otherwise, I would be doing the Raging Phoenix Atlantis. 1 Appa, which came up quite a few times, and then 1 Underworld Goddess, which is just fun to do. And what's even funnier is if you make her and haven't gone to your Fiendsmith engine, there's your Fiendsmith engine right there.
Nice.
And then the 1 DD Wave Hiking Caesar, which came up a lot. I ran 1 Aerial Eater, but never made it. I don't know if I'll keep it in or not. 1 Necroquip Princess, which I didn't realize you could use Requiem while it's equipped to Engraver as part of the material for her.
Yeah, I learned that today facing Yubel.
So yeah, that's just nuts. And then because of that, I put Lacrima back in.
Yeah.
I wasn't originally running him just because of overall extra deck size, but then I realized, you know what, I shouldn't play Prosperity here. I'll just fill out with stuff that will actually do stuff, and it worked out very well, actually. And then Desiree is just broken.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. At one point, I had a total of Link 3 equipped to him. And because of Dungeon and everything, he just couldn't out him or the Mimighoul stuff.
That's pretty broken, man, bro. Shoot, I guess you got any shout outs for him, bro?
Shout out, as always, to the man behind the camera.
Yo.
Wouldn't be able to do these deck profiles without him, really. Shout out to everyone at local. Shout out to my opponents. I don't remember the names of my first round opponent, but my second round was Adam. Shout out to him. Shout out to Jason Zayo as my round 3 opponent.
Guy over there.
And then shout out to Lyle, who was my last round opponent that I lost to. Yeah, shout out to everybody here.
Thank you again for the deck profile, bro. And keep clapping them, man. And I guess we'll catch them in the next one. Peace.